How's it going, everybody? Bear with me while I get everything pulled up here. I'm a little bit late tonight. It's been a very busy weekend, but it's like everything is kind of starting to settle in to this new season. It's very exciting, everything that's going on right now. So I'll give a little bit of details on that tonight because I was just thinking a lot about today. Three really big projects that are all coming to a head at the same time here. And each one of them has taken a significant amount of time to get to this point. And I think so often when we start a project, we get frustrated, we um, have a setback, and it makes us give up. And I just want to really encourage you tonight um, with some of the stories of, and it's going to be weird because I'm not going to give full details of what exactly is going on, but I'll give you some of the stories of the setbacks that have happened in between when I started thinking about these projects, or when I believed that God gave a vision for some of these projects, and then to where we are right now. So give me 1 second to pull everything up, and then we'll get into it a little bit. If you're here, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions for tonight, feel free to go ahead and ask whatever you would like to ask, and we'll make sure to get answers if at all possible. So bear with me. Be right back to you. How was your weekend, by the way? Um, Mine was really good. Kind of like my last big summer fall project was butchering chickens, and so butchered the chickens yesterday morning. 26 chickens we butchered. So I have a full freezer. That always feels good. And then, well, full fridge right now, but full freezer. But right after this, I'm gonna move them into the freezer. So that's really great. And then cleaning out the garden, and my kids, they did most of that work tonight. So we were 95% of the way there, and they did the rest of it while I did some mowing, and it was really, really awesome. So that's like my summer. It feels like my summer is finally over. I know it's probably felt like that weather-wise for a while, but for me, it's been this process of just getting all these homestead things wrapped up. I have a couple smaller things, but you know, it's all things that could be done through the wintertime if need be, and they probably will be because honestly, I just need a break. So, and I'm gonna be taking a break over the coming days, so that's nice as well. Jonathan's in the house, Summer's here, and Roger's here. Aaron's in the house too, so good to have you guys and anyone that's watching this after the fact. Good to have you here as well. So tomorrow there will be a video coming out on a project that I've been working on for 16 months at this point, um, which seems totally crazy. Uh, I know a lot of people don't work on things for 16 minutes if they don't see any meaningful movement forward. But this project that I'll show you tomorrow, we finally got approval on it. We got some money approved on it. We got, everything. It's going to happen, and and it didn't look that way for a long time. We were looking for a site to do this project. We were looking for, um, the right place, and then we had to get permissions, and we had to, do research and develop a plan. All these different things. And I've invested many, many hours into this project, and so far, up to this point, there was no fruit. So over a year into it, and there was really no significant progress made. And then all of a sudden, you keep pushing, you keep asking, you keep looking, you keep knocking, you keep doing all of these things, and then the breakthrough happens, and that's where we're at. So right now there's a breakthrough moment that's here on that project. I'm working on another project, which is a building purchase, This opportunity came up right at the beginning of the year. So it's almost 10 months into this project as well. A lot of back and forth. There was some negotiation. There were some different things happening, and it looks like within the next 3 weeks we'll actually be closing on that property, and it'll be another downtown property that hopefully will be revitalizing and bringing back to life and making available to the public, and hopefully it'll be 2 or 3 businesses hopefully in downtown, and several apartments available as we fix them up and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a significant investment on my part, but I think long term it'll be good for me. It'll be good for Kittanning. It'll be good for the former building owner to be rid of it. It should just be good all around, and so I'm really pumped about that. But once again, 10 months, and still we haven't closed on a building. That's a long time to wait. That's a long time to negotiate. That's a long time to go through the motions without even really starting. And so I could have given up on that many months ago, and I haven't. Same thing with the first project. The third project that we're working on has been over 2 years in the making. It started out as just a dream, and it's a church project, and it was something that was not feasible in our other church. And I'll tell the full story sometime in the future, but basically, I felt like I had a direct word from God while I was in North Carolina in January, basically saying that the Church of God was going to become available. And at that time, Drug and Alcohol Commission was purchasing the Church of God. It was all going through. I was actually cheering that on. I was one of the very few people in the neighborhood that thought that was going to be a good thing. But I really did. I believed in it. And I got home on Monday, and I got a call from Pastor Nick telling me that the Drug and Alcohol Commission had pulled out, and they were going in a different direction, and if we'd be interested in making an offer on the building. And it was such a faith building moment. It was because it was supernatural. It didn't make any sense. I couldn't explain how or why that happened, other than just to say that God wanted it to happen, and so it happened. And it was truly that. I mean, it was like I heard when I heard that, it was so silly in my mind, because it was like, that doesn't even make sense. Why would they pull out of that deal? Why would they not want that to happen? Drug and Alcohol Commission really wanted that to happen. Church of God was getting a great deal for their building. I mean, it just seemed like it just made too much sense. Why would that not go through? And then it didn't. And we ended up with it. And now this other dream that couldn't happen in our old church but can happen in the new one, that dream is coming to fruition. We just got approval on it last week, and we're moving forward on it. And so all 3 of those things, by the middle of November, you'll know all 3 of those projects. The first one, like I said, will be tomorrow's video. I filmed it in the middle of last week. I just didn't have a chance to fully complete the edit, but I'll have it done by then. And so it's just really it's crazy what God is doing. And so that's why I put this in the as the title of the video. Just keep moving forward. It can appear for weeks, for months, and in some cases, for me, for years, without seeing any meaningful progress. But if God has given you the dream, and if God has pointed you in that direction, then there is no reason to stop asking, and to stop knocking, and to stop seeking. We have to continue to drive forward, even when it doesn't look like there's any fruit. If you believe that God has called you to it, then it will come to fruition. There are so many big things happening in Kittanning right now, and I believe all 3 of these projects will be marked down in Kittanning history as good turning points and good elements. 2 of them specifically, I believe, we will look back in decades, and we will still remember 2 of these projects that happened. That's how much I believe in them. That's how much I believe that they will be transformative for our community, and driving towards our mission for Kittanning 300, the one specifically, trying to solve the problem of addiction. One of these things is going to be huge in helping to solve the problem of addiction in our town. And the other one, part of Kittanning 300, is adding art space. I think these are going to be like keystone pieces of the puzzle when we talk about Kittanning becoming one of the best small towns in America. And 2020 has been a difficult year for a lot of people, and it's been difficult in a lot of ways, I guess. But it hasn't been a negative for me at all. It's difficult to say that it may end up being the best year of my life to date. And I've said that about the last 3 years. After 2018, I couldn't really imagine how 2019 could be better, and 2019 was better. And then I certainly couldn't imagine when the pandemic hit. I thought 2020, there's no way 2020 could be better than 2019. And here we are. And I think it might be. I think it might be, which is totally insane to say. And then 2021 will be the year of all of these things that were started in 2020. We're going to see them actually come into their physical form in 2021. And so I'm already excited about next year. Like, I'm totally geeked up about all this stuff. And I can't wait to show it to you. I'm really excited. I hope I'm not overhyping it, but in my own mind, I'm certainly not. The first one is the smallest one. That'll be revealed tomorrow. But the second one, which hopefully we'll have revealed within the next 2 weeks, is I think the biggest one. And then the third one that'll be revealed at the beginning of November is a big deal too. So, anyways, that's just me offloading a little bit. I'm sorry that I'm being so vague. I just don't want to give away these things because I think in a regular video is like a better format for that. But I just wanted to just encourage you. Keep going. And if you might have a dream that you feel like's been dead for 10 years, and maybe it's time to resurrect it. Maybe it's time to pull out those old plans, pull out that notebook, those dreams, all those things, and take another look at them. And get on your knees before God with that piece of paper and ask Him what the next step is. Ask if it's still on His heart too, and He'll respond. He'll make a way if you just continue to push forward in that manner. And if it's not meant to be, then that's okay too. Even in my failures, which there have been many, I always tell people this. I have 9 failures for every success. Every good idea that comes to fruition, there's 9 ideas that I worked on for many hours, and they all died. But even in those failures, when you're pushing forward, if it doesn't work out, you still learned a whole lot along the way. You learned a lot about yourself. You learned a lot about what not to do. You learned a lot about what to look for in the future. Maybe you learned about handling money better. You learned about handling relationships better. Negotiating better. There's a million different things that come into play, but it's all learning experience. And so don't ever take a failure as a negative. Even those things are positives. It's all positive, you guys. Every single thing. It's all positive if we have the right mindset. I've rambled on for 14 minutes already. That's difficult to believe, but M. Bronze is in the house. Good to have you. Jonathan says, you have no idea how much I needed to hear about not giving up. Peppy Lube has been very slow, and I've been debating giving it up lately. Yeah, Jonathan, it was been a difficult year to start a business like that, or to start a business in any manner, really. But rest assured, I would assume that 2021 will be better. Have you begun to advertise at all? I know we talked about maybe doing something along those lines, but I'd still love to maybe do a video with you or something. And maybe we can figure that out. I'd be willing to pay for the service as well. I would just want to promote you in that way, and maybe get you in front of a couple hundred people as part of a video. And then if you have any kind of deals or promotions that you wanted to promote, you could go ahead and do it. If it was 15% off your first one or whatever that looks like. But let me know. I know we've talked about that in the past and it never happened, but I would really like to make that happen if it would help you. Tim's in the house. Good to have you, Tim, all the way from Colorado. Aaron says, God is always moving even when we don't see it. 100%. He is absolutely always on the move. And I think sometimes in our moment of greatest discouragement, I think that's when he is waiting for us to continue to push forward. I think he wants to see a people of faith that is walking forward the plans that he's given them. And we see that even all through the Bible. God just really honored faithful people. You think of all the way from the beginning, Abraham. Abraham had a lot of negative things about him. But God's biggest thing about Abraham was that Abraham believed God. When he heard something from God, he followed it, and he did not waver. And I think that is one of the greatest character qualities that we could ever cultivate in our own lives. Kratborg is in the house. Good to have you. Thank you for coming tonight. There's 11 of you here. That's good, especially when I'm late. I appreciate you guys hanging out and bearing with me. Just so you know, next Sunday night, I may or may not be on here. So if you miss me for a week, don't be alarmed. I'll have several Kittanning videos coming out, though, this week. At least 3. 1 homestead video and then 2 Kittanning videos will be out. And then I'll have a whole bunch of content after that. That'll be a lot of the follow-ups to these big projects as they roll out. But going on a bit of an adventure here over the next couple days, and excited to tell you about that as well. Sorry once again for the vagueness, but I don't have any way to tell you any details without ruining it. So just know there's big things coming. I've been working on them for a long time. It's been a little bit frustrating because I want to share these things. That's what this has always been about, is sharing the journey with you. But these things were so exciting to me that I didn't want to share details leading up to it, because if it didn't come through, I didn't want anyone to be disappointed. But they are coming to fruition, and I'm extraordinarily grateful for that. Anyways, we're 17 minutes in. I'm going to sign off. I'm a little bit sleepy. I have several things still to do tonight. I got to move all those beautiful chickens from the fridge to the freezer, and I've got to prepare for this adventure that this week is going to be. But I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I pray that God blesses your week moving forward. Watch out for the video tomorrow. First fruits, my friends.